my bowling bag?
No, I haven't, Patty.
I could have sworn it was in there.
Did you look behind the shoeboxes?
No, that's where I keep my old magazines. Oh, I'll bet it's in the downstairs closet.
How was your day?
Well, usual front page stuff. How was yours?
Oh, I had a fascinating day.
Yeah?
I had a 3-hour lunch with my niece Anne and David Stone.
Who's David Stone?
He's a graduate student at Juilliard, and Anne is head over heels in love with him, and he's in love with her, but he's too shy to propose.
Oh, well, Anne's too young to get married anyway. She's still a schoolgirl.
She's a senior at college. You don't realize how mature she's become lately.
Well, I think she should finish school first.
You see, the trouble with us, Martin, is that we've watched her grow up right under our noses. We don't realize how grown up she really is. We still think of her as a child, but Martin, she's become a young lady.
Well, I suppose we have been blind about her just because she's ours. Maybe it would be a good idea if she got married.
I'm sure it would.
Well, it's all right with me. When?
As soon as possible.
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day. Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette. Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
What's the matter? They're after me. Who is after you? My own mother and father. I don't know how to tell you this. They're what? They're trying to get me married.
Oh, Patty, that's ridiculous.
I know it's ridiculous, but I just heard them plotting down there. They said I've grown up under their noses and they didn't realize it, and I'm becoming an old lady and they want to kick me out.
You must have heard them rehearsing a play or something.
Yeah, and I know the name of the play. It's called Getting Rid of Patty.
You've got to be mistaken.
All right? I want you to come downstairs and listen for yourself.
All right, I will. But only to prove to you that you're wrong.
I asked David to dinner tomorrow night. Anne's going to be out of town. I hope you don't mind.
No, I don't mind. But what's the point?
Well, apparently David has some complex about getting married. He had a pretty unhappy childhood. He was an orphan, and an aunt and uncle brought him up, so his memories of home life are rather grim.
Oh, you'd like him to see how great family life can really be.
Yes. I think he's afraid to raise a family. I'd like him to meet Patty and see what a wonderful child she is.
Fine. Anything for the cause.
He really would make a perfect husband for her. He's very warm, and you know how outgoing she is.
Yeah, she never runs down.
I'm glad I asked him to dinner tomorrow night.
Well, let's make sure Patty's going to be home.
Martin, wouldn't it be wonderful if it all worked out? We'll give them a beautiful honeymoon.
Well, take it easy. We have to get them married first.
We could send them to June Lake. She loves the country.
Hi, folks.
Hi, Patty.
You know, we were just talking about you.
Were you?
You're looking very pretty, honey.
Thank you, Papa.
Our little girl is really growing up, isn't she, Nat?
Yes. Patty, do you have any plans for tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night? Why?
Oh, we're having a dinner guest, and I want you to meet him.
I can't. I have a date with Richard.
Well, couldn't you break it?
You never asked me to break a date with Richard before.
This is rather important, darling. Oh, you're going to like this man. He's very nice, and I'm anxious for you to make a good impression on him.
You are?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I think you should wear your new dress tomorrow night. See, one of the reasons he's coming is to meet you. And I think you should go to the hairdresser in the afternoon.
Excuse me. Any questions? They're leading me to the slaughter. I can't believe it. You'll dance at my wedding. Hello, Uncle Martin. I'm Natalie.
Hello, dear.
Hello, Kath.
Uncle Martin, I know this seems ridiculous, but Patty seems to think there's going to be a wedding around here.
Does she? Well, with a little bit of luck, there will be.
That's exactly... Oh. Who is the man?
He's studying composing at Juilliard. He's a very lovely person.
Excuse me.
I wonder how Patty knew.
Oh, kids today are marvelous. They sense things.
Did you find out anything? Yes. They are trying to get you married. My own mother and father arranging a marriage behind my back to a man I'd never even seen. You think we were in the Middle Ages? Well, I won't marry him. I simply can't understand them. I'm not ready to get married, Kathy. I got a C- in home economics. Now, who'd want a wife like that? Oh, they sure must be anxious to get rid of me. Oh, I'm sure it isn't that, Patty. Papa was always talking about how expensive everything is. Maybe if I ate less, they'd let me stay. You've got to do something. I want Richard. Oh, Richard, I'm so happy to see you.
You saw you less than an hour ago.
It seems like a lifetime.
Oh, what's wrong?
I have to break my date with you tomorrow night.
Well, why?
I'm going to get married.
Oh? Well, what about Tuesday night?
She's serious.
Serious about getting married? What is it, a school play or something?
No, it's real life.
Patty, you've been watching too much television. You can't get married. You've got a C- in home economics.
You see, he knows I'm not ready to get married.
What's she talking about, Kat?
I'm afraid it's true, Richard. Her mother and father are planning to get her married.
Well, I'm not ready to get married yet.
You're not the man they've chosen.
You mean they want you to marry somebody else?
Yeah, you're beginning to get the idea.
Who is he?
I don't know. I haven't met him. All I know is they're sending us to June Lake for our honeymoon because they think I like the country.
Patty, they can't do this.
They made me break my date with you tomorrow night because they invited him to dinner. And I'm supposed to wear my new dress and go to the beauty shop and be very charming.
When you get married, it's going to be to me, and that's not going to be for a long, long time.
You haven't met him, but he hasn't met you either. So? So, they told you to be charming. So? So don't. How can I help it?
Hey, I get it. She means make yourself unattractive and act stupid.
Oh, he'd never believe it.
You've got to try. I mean, if he doesn't like you, there's not going to be any marriage, right?
Right. Kathy, I've got to hand it to you. When the chips are down, you're brilliant. All right, let's figure out the kind of girl that would be least likely to appeal to him. He's a long-haired musician.
A long-haired musician? Well, then Patty can act herself.
Oh, we really got to make him head for the hills. He'd probably like someone who was scholarly, like serious books, art, the theater, the classics. All you have to do is be opposite. That's not hard. That's the real me. All right, let's rehearse it. You really have to frighten him away tomorrow night. Richard, you be David.
David, huh? I don't even like his name.
I'll be your mother. Good evening, David. It's so nice of you to come. This is my daughter, Patty. Patty, David.
I'm very happy to make your acquaintance. I've heard a great deal about you.
Tell me, have you read any good books lately, David?
Oh, yes, indeed. I just finished reading The Odyssey.
I read the sequel, The Evensy. Pretty good, huh?
Have you seen any good plays lately?
Yeah. Gonzalez take Mickey Mantle out on the top of the night with faces loaded.
This is a rehearsal, Patty.
Oh. Tell me, are you fond of Gluck? Only if it has a lot of cream and sugar on it.
That should frighten him away.
I can't wait till tomorrow night.
That's him. He's early. Yes, your mother and father aren't back yet. Yeah, I know they went to get him some caviar or something. What do we do? Well, we can't keep him out there. Let him in. You can get rid of him before they get back. Yeah.
Hello. I know I'm early. I'm David Stone.
How do you do, David? I'm so happy to know you. Yeah.
Well, won't you come in? I'm Patty. It's my cousin Kathy.
Hello.
How do you do?
Well, the Pioneer type should be back any sec.
The pie... Oh.
Well, if you'll excuse me, I have some things to do upstairs.
Well, come on in and set a spell.
Thank you. You know, I'm really very happy that your mother and father aren't home now because I'd kind of like to get to know you a little better.
Is that so?
Well, I don't think I'm supposed to know this, but I kind of feel they invited me here tonight to turn me into a Benedict.
A Benedict?
Shakespeare, Much Ado About Nothing. Benedict was a character who was against marriage until one day he met the right girl and it changed his mind.
You mean you're against marriage?
Well, I have been up to now. You see, I had kind of a rugged childhood. I was raised by an aunt and an uncle who hated each other, and they battled constantly, and it made me pretty cynical about marriage and family.
Me too.
What do you mean?
Oh, I've had a very unhappy childhood, too.
Well, I thought this was such a happy family.
Happy? Oh, it's brutal around here. Everybody hates everybody else.
Why, we yell and scream at each other all the time.
You do?
Oh, yeah. I could tell you stories that would make your hair stand on end.
Anne told me this was the happiest family she'd ever seen.
Anne?
Your cousin, Anne.
You know her?
Well, yes.
Oh, well, she lied to you. It's yell, yell, yell all the time around here.
Oh, Patty, have you seen...
No! I want some more. Get out of here. See?
Oh, of course. Who wants to be in the same room with you? You see?
Do your parents quarrel?
Day and night.
They're the only family Anne has.
Yeah. Poor Anne.
Well, she never even mentioned this to me. It must be terrible for her, just the way it was for me.
Oh, even worse. When Papa loses his temper, he's a fiend.
Anne is so shy and sensitive. Someone should take her out of all this.
Yeah. Of course, I don't mind it here. I'm kind of used to it.
I even like it here. I wouldn't want to leave for anything.
David. Martin, this is David Stone.
How do you do?
Nice to meet you.
I'm sorry we were so late getting home.
I'm glad Patty and I have had a chance to talk.
Yeah, we really understand each other.
And I've made up my mind about something.
Yes?
I want to get married right away.
Francis, I can't tell you how excited we all are. Oh, of course, Anne is just beside herself. She loves David so much. Yes. Uh-huh. Yes. Yes.
Mama.
And David simply adores her. Oh, I'm going to help her pick out the wedding gown. Well, if we can get ready in time, we'll have the wedding next week. You know, I have just a million things to do. Oh, we're going to have the wedding right here at the house, and I do want it to be beautiful. Oh, about 100 people. Yes, I know she seems like such a child, but she isn't really. I know. He made up his mind last night, right after he had a talk with Patty. Isn't it wonderful? Oh, I'm so delighted.
I can't believe it. You mean I'm going to be a bridesmaid?
Well, Patty's downstairs now talking to your mother. I'm sure it'll all be settled. Did you talk to your mother?
Yeah, it's all set. The wedding is next week in my former home. She wants it to be beautiful, about 100 people.
Oh, Patty.
Kathy told me the news, sis. I'm going to miss you.
I want you to come and live with me.
Do you mean that?
Of course I mean it.
Gee, thanks, sis.
You too, Kathy. Oh, and what about your husband?
Oh, I forgot all about him.
What time is it? Oh, it must be about 5 o'clock. Do you realize we haven't heard a word from David since he was here yesterday? Maybe he's forgotten about me. Oh, I wouldn't count on that if I were you.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Oh, maybe he had to leave town or something.
Patty, David's downstairs. He wants to see you.
Oh, boy.
I'm so happy. I can't tell you how much this means to me.
Does it really, Mom?
Oh, I've dreamed of this for a long time.
Mom, I hardly know David. I've only met him once in my whole life.
He's a wonderful man. You'll get to love him.
Mom, I'm too young to get married.
I should think so. We're moving the wedding from Wednesday to Friday. That'll give us 2 extra days. Oh, there's a million things to do. I've got to arrange the minister, call the caterer, call the rental place. I don't know how we're going to get ready in time.
My own mother, selling me down the river.
Richard, why'd you use the back door?
I didn't know if I'd be welcome at the front door anymore. I mean, since Patty is practically a married woman.
She's not married yet.
It's gonna happen any minute. I wonder if they're planning to invite me over to dinner. You know, old friends of the bride.
I'm sure sorry about this, Richard. Can I fix your sandwich?
No thanks, I'm not hungry.
You're not?
I haven't been able to eat a bite since I heard the news.
I don't want Patty to get married. But if she does marry, I'd like her to marry you.
Thanks, Ross.
I mean, you've got your problems, but at least I know what they are. I don't want a stranger for a brother-in-law.
Maybe you're not gonna have a stranger for a brother-in-law.
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm not gonna let it happen so easily. You think any old joker that comes along can take Patty away from me?
Now, wait a minute, where are you going?
To see Patty. Through the front door.
Hello, Patty.
Hello, David.
I've got to give you a kiss.
Do you?
I owe you so much.
Me?
Well, yes. Before I spoke to you last night, I didn't have any idea how much I wanted to get married. But now that I've made up my mind, I feel like a new man.
You mean you still want to go through with it?
I can't wait. The sooner, the better.
David, I think there's something you should know.
What's that?
I can't cook or sew. I have a terrible disposition, and I have 2 cavities, an upper and a lower. See?
Well, when we get back from the honeymoon, we'll just have to get you to a dentist.
You mean that doesn't change your feelings about me?
Of course not, Patty. Nothing could ever do that.
Why do I have to be so irresistible?
Anybody home?
In here, Richard.
Hi, Patty.
Hi, Richard. I'd like you to meet David Stone, Richard Harrison.
David? You're David?
You've heard about me?
Boy, that's the only topic of conversation around here.
Well, I'm pleased to meet you.
I'll bet you are. You're turning me into a laughing stock.
I don't understand.
No? Well, it just happens you're planning to marry my girl.
Your girl?
That's right, and I don't intend to give her up.
What's he talking about?
It's true. I didn't want to hurt you, David, but that's the way it is.
You mean you knew about it, too?
Well, of course. Everybody knows it.
Everybody but me. How long have you known her?
A lot longer than you have.
Richard Harrison. She never even mentioned you to me.
You've been too busy sweeping her off her feet.
It all happened so fast.
And you're in love with her.
That's right.
Well, how does she feel about you?
Tell him.
Same way, I'm afraid.
I can't believe this. You're just a kid.
I'm not as young as I look. And anyway, Patty and I aren't ready to get married next week. But we will be, someday.
Patty and you?
That's right. That's why I can't marry you.
You can't marry me.
No. Oh, I hate these eternal triangles. But it wouldn't be fair to any of us. I know how hurt you must be. But I just can't go through with it.
Patty, didn't your mother tell you?
Oh, yeah. She told me how anxious you are to get married. And I hate to let her down, but please, try to understand.
I think I do. Look, the truth of the matter is...
Yes.
Well, the truth of the matter is... Well, I'm just very happy we had this chat.
Yeah, me too. Do you think you'll be able to get over me?
Well, not right away, of course, but in time.
Thank you, David.
You're a good loser.
Thanks. I lost to a good man.
Yeah. Well, better luck next time.
Oh, how am I going to break the news to the parent figures?
Would you like me to do it for you?
Would you?
Yes, I think it might be easier coming from me.
Yeah. That way you can tell them you're all right. You know something? You're all right.
All set?
All set. Bye.
So long.
Oh. Hey, wait a minute. Didn't you say you know my cousin Anne?
Yes.
Look, if you're so anxious to get married, why don't you try her? Not me, but... Oh, she's a wonderful girl. Good luck. Isn't it incredible how great everything turned out? I told David about Anne Monday, and he's marrying her Friday. When I play Cupid, I don't kid around. Maybe you should be a professional matchmaker. Yeah, that'd be great. You know, I really thought I was going to be in big trouble this week, but I got out of it.
She didn't.
She didn't. I'm afraid she did. Patty must have taken it for granted that we were all speaking of her wedding.
Oh, why didn't she come to us and discuss it?
Well, perhaps she felt she couldn't.
But why?
Because she can't stand screaming. When Anne and I get back from our honeymoon, we'd like very much to have a talk with you about Patty. We think perhaps she may be happier living with us.
Living with you?
Well, Anne and I have discussed how unhappy Patty is living here at home, and we've decided that...
Patty unhappy at home? Where'd you ever get that impression?
It's not an impression. She told me. Well, I mean, she wasn't complaining. She merely said that she'd never leave you, but Patty's a very sensitive girl, and she just can't stand watching you two fight constantly.
Watching us fight?
Yelling and screaming at one another.
Patty said that?
That's right.
Well, for your information, there is no yelling around this house. Patty! Patty, come in here!
Well, now, wait a minute. I didn't mean to start another family row. I just thought that if there was something wrong, perhaps we could help the situation.
Don't worry. We're going to do something about it. Patty!
Yes, Pa, would you call me?
Yeah, I have a bit of news for you, young lady.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
You're in trouble again.
I know,
Now, about our yelling at you. When do you get off telling people things like that?
She just told me, and I figured that maybe there was some...
Here Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair. But they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike,
They walk alike,
at times they even talk alike.